Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today I'll be recording from my laptop, which is a different computer than the one I've been using. So I don't know if the settings are more or less the same or if um, there is too much reverb. I think this particular room I'm at has a lot of reverb from what I was able to test, but let's see if that's not too bad, to be honest. Okay. So, um, I've been working on converting this previously base.h file into a C99 version, but I'm going to do that offline, right? To this kind of stuff, I prefer to do it offline. I think better while I'm not speaking, while I'm not recording, right? My productivity tanks a lot while I'm recording because I need to verbalize my thoughts, and I'm not particularly good at it. But in any case, we can work on something different today, right? So it doesn't really get too many. So we don't really get too many repeated topics, right? So I think that we can start working on walls, right? So if I go to my so this is a different computer. I have to reinstall this stuff, and I had to test it, and it is working, and I'm actually happy that everything is working. I didn't need to install any dependency. I just need to install OBS and stuff like that, right? But yeah, in terms of like the project itself, it works. It works first try. So yeah. So here, when we have caves, as you can see, we are currently putting an air block or an air tile in the cave itself. But I actually want to fill this space with a wall that has the same type of the previous block. So let me see if I get an example. For example, here. So here, what I want to do is to have like a wall of dirt, then a wall of stone, and a wall of grass. So a wall is going to be basically a background tile, so the user does not collide with it, but it for visual aspects. For now, it's just going to be visual. It's actually probably going to look better, to be honest, right? So yeah, by the way, this computer is much slower than my uh, this laptop is much slower than my desktop. So I don't know if this is going to work that well, but let's see. Okay, so this has some include errors because I need to, yeah, but this works. It's just yeah, some configuration. Can I do quick fix? Yes, let me try to do this real quick. Okay, it worked, I think. Yeah, because it added this VS Code. Okay, folder. Cool. So I think that one very easy way to add this background tile or wall thingy is to simply add, um, how can I, yeah, I can probably put it as a uint 8, and I can just add a flag saying is background, and this is going to be a single bit. Once again, since we want like very large planets, we need to be very careful with the amount of data we store per tile, because I don't want to use chunking or any of that. I want to have the entire planet at once in RAM for a variety of reasons, mainly because I won't share the same code between the client and the server is necessarily going to need to have the entire planet at once. And you may like uh, think that, well, we could just update a portion of the planet depending on where the players are. But my intention is to have very like a server that supports a very large amount of players, and I'm talking about like 100 or 200 or maybe even 300, 400. I don't know how many I'll be able to support with this very simple structure that I intend to implement. But my intention is basically to have like 300 players connected to the same server, right? So at that point, it doesn't make a difference to have a chunking system. At that point, probably it's just overhead, to be honest. So I think that having things more or less simple is going to probably benefit us a lot because yeah, the server is just going to need to render the entire thing always at every single tick. So having like a segmented physics system or something like that. Just going to create some unnecessary overhead, to be honest. So, having said that, we have this is background flag now, and the only thing I intend to do is to basically have in the render, in the draw, yeah, in this draw thingy. Let me just do something so we can see this better. I just want to put this in separate lines like this, and I can really feel the slowness when I'm recording and I'm trying to edit the file, right? I don't know if you guys can see it, but yeah, this laptop is really slow. Okay, so yeah, so yeah, so basically this really function accepts, or does it? Which one? Oh yeah, because it only accepts that color, right? So yeah, that's just I was thinking about something else. I was thinking about the draw texture that accepts a tint, right? So it basically tints the texture itself with a color, right? This one, but this is not supported. So there is probably HSV or something. Yeah. So basically, this function accepts a color, right? And what about this one? Get color multiplied with another color. I think this one is going to be good for what we want. Well, we could also use brightness. Get color with brightness correction. Brightness for goes from -1 to 1. So I think we can apply some brightness change for now. And once we have textures for the tiles, we can probably just use those textures. I think that's an actual good yeah, an easy implementation to use, right? To use just a tint, and now we just use brightness. Cool. So now I probably want to have a color, right? And this is going to be my tint. We can call it tint, right? It's fine. And here I just want to get the terrain X and Y. So this is the current tile. Then I get is background flag, and I can check that. So if it is a background tile, we need to set something that I still don't know what it is. But if it is a normal tile, then the tint is going to be just white, right? So we are not going to modify the color in terms of brightness. Wait, so do I want to use brightness or do I want to use, what was the other function? I already forgot. So HSV or something, and this was, yeah, I probably want to use this one. So it kind of matches what we are going to use for the textures, right? So I think this is probably better, to be honest. Cool. So let me just put it here. So we need to test different things, right? We need to test different things. What kind of colors do we have? I know that we have gray, but this gray well, let's try to use that. And we also have dark gray and light gray. So probably we need some version of gray, I would say. So let's begin with just gray, right? And well, but that's not going to work for the stone because the stone is already gray. Yeah. So we probably need to use brightness, to be honest, for now. So brightness. I think that's why I write it now. Let me see, brightness. So yeah, so this is basically the brightness. And here for, I don't know what kind, how this applies brightness. Let me just use 0 and 1 for now to see what this creates. This is pretty much just going to be like a trial and error, to be honest. And here I can just say color brightness. Wasn't it called? What is it called? Well, I can no longer. Oh, it's just very slow. Okay. I can probably copy it from here. So I can apply the brightness to green. Yeah, man, my IDE is super slow. But let's see. Then to brown. And finally to gray. Okay. So did it save? Yes. Okay, let me try to close that, see if it improves a little bit. Um, Maybe this is slow because I'm using WSLI. Yeah, I don't know. I have weird stuff installed in this computer, but let's see. And probably recording also doesn't help, but okay. So what kind of... Okay, that's not really what I wanted. Hmm. So brightness doesn't... Oh, because maybe 0 is no change. Yeah. So let me try. So 0 is probably no change, right? And then negative is probably some kind of change. Let me put like negative here. So this should give me the exactly the same we had previously. Cool. So this is exactly what we had previously, which is cool. And now when we generate the this stuff, right? This stuff, we probably we probably need, well, in the future I'm probably going to accept a function here like that modifies, we just pass the x and y, it modifies it. But for now, instead of accepting a solid type, we actually just need to accept a boolean. Well, we don't need to accept anything. Yeah, I can just put it as is background to true, basically, and that should work. So let's see what kind of thing we have. Oh, because yeah, I'm passing too many arguments here. About now. Okay, so okay, so here, for example, yeah, this kind of looks good. I'm not gonna lie. Let me try to generate more caves so we can have a better understanding of how this looks. Can probably make them larger, like 512, and probably like much bigger just to take a good look at it. Yeah, I think I can even reduce the brightness even further because this just looks like shadows and I don't want this to be shadows. I actually want them to look more like walls. So let me put like negative 0.25. Yeah, that's looking much better. Yeah, but I want to have an example with dirt. Let's see if I get lucky. I need to generate multiple planets until I get lucky. Okay, this one is dirt. I can probably even go further and reduce it even more, I would say. Not that this is looking bad, but I can probably stretch it a little bit. Let me try negative 0.5. Yeah, probably that's too... Well, is it too much? Maybe. Maybe it's too much. Yeah, I think that's too much. Maybe 0.3. Let's try it. Yeah, I don't know. This kind of looks like a but with textures it's probably going to improve, right? I just want to have something to work with. And so now, let me actually make my a bit smaller. Here I'm going to put it like that, and here I'm going to put it like that. Then I can do 256. And I just want to take a look at it as the player would look at them. So if I increase the zoom with more or less what... Well, probably no one is going to play with that zoom. I would say maybe someone is going to play. Yeah, probably this is going to be the actual zoom I'm going to go for in terms of gameplay. Because I want to see a large section of the map right? You want to see, yeah, probably this one is a little bit better. But now I just need to find a cave. There is no cave in this direction. I want to find a cave at surface level, just so I can actually see how these walls are looking, but I don't think, okay, there is one here at the very end of the segment. Yeah, probably with textures this one is going to look better. I cannot resize, yeah, I don't allow the resize of the window. But basically this is non-collidable, right? So, and as you can see, this like these random blocks that I was complaining in a few episodes ago, they no longer like look bad because they are just continuation from whatever is in the background, right? So they kind of look good. They kind of look good. Yeah, I think this is pretty good. Um, I don't know. I need to tune the brightness of the background wall. I'm still not really happy with this kind of brightness, but in terms of the feature itself, I think it's more than enough for now to test and stuff like that. So this was a short episode, but I'll basically continue to work on migrating the base lib into C99, and in the meantime I'll keep releasing new videos, working on features for the client itself, right? And once I have like a very basic um, structure, like gameplay structure, I need to move all of that into the server and start doing the actual server client communication. But yeah, I think at 0.35 it looks much better. You see, this is like it has a clear distinction between what's in front or what is in the layer of the player and what is in the background. I think this looks much better. So I think I'm going to keep it for now as 0.35. Yeah, looks good to me. Looks good to me. All right, so I think that's everything for today. So thank you for watching, and I see you in the next one.